Welcome to episode 3 of Eclipse. Last time, our crew went into hypersleep. They found a key. They found new recruits for their ship. We're joining them now as they sleep under, dreaming their dreams in the slickware worlds that Lynn has provided them. Peter is still awake.
Yes, I am.
Peter, we open on, well, whatever you're doing right now. What does an android do while the humans sleep?
Well, after everybody was firmly under, I went about some general tidying up and cleaning duties, and then I went and put out the clothes that Captain Larson specifically asked me to put out for her when she awakens. And then I went about working with the warden to plot our exact course into where I was instructed to take us. At which point, I then, let me quickly check my notes. I went to, oh yes, that's what I did. I went and monitored everyone's cryosleep to see what was happening. But before I check in on anybody's specific simulations, I am going to take a quick look and scan Mr. McDowell's body for any cybernetics.
Interesting. Okay. Before you do this, could you just roll me one intelligence check?
Absolutely. I pass.
You suddenly remember, as everyone sleeps, the softened glow of the ship kind of pulsating. There's an artifact sitting on the scanner still that was been left out. In your drunken revelry back on the ship, you left out a certain key in the scanner. But thankfully you remember this right before you went about your duties. Well, you've gone through cleaning a bit, but it kind of struck you in the moment. Like, wait a second.
Oh, that's not advisable. I'm gonna go take care of that.
What would you like to do with this
I
artifact?
go to the science bay, and I assume it's still sitting on the counter.
It is.
And we had left the ship, if I remember correctly, when we left for the space station, it was still scanning.
Yes.
Has it finished scanning?
It has.
What readings did we get from the scan?
The warden system activates. The material is some kind of nano superstructure that's made of compounds that cannot be found in my database. Sorry.
No, it's all right, Warden. No need to apologize. Well, I guess we'll just put this away for now. There's nothing really to do. If we don't know what it is, we'll just have to wait until we can get more information. Is there, like a secure lockbox or anything in the science chamber where I can put it away?
In the science chamber, there's a few containers, kind of specimen containers. Would you like to use one of those?
Yeah, if there's one big enough, I'd like to use one of those to seal away the key until we need it or find more information.
Got it. And as you handle it, I would like you to do a sanity save.
Hey! Oh, not good at these.
Great sign.
I do not pass.
Great. So you put it away as normal.
Great.
Stress increase.
Yeah, you do get a stress increase.
Right. I will mark that down later. All right. Well, good thing I remembered to do that. It's, just kind of looks around, walks down through the hallways, makes his way back to the cryopod's not in any hurry. There's no need to hurry. It's going to be a while. He walks over to a specific console and accesses something and starts playing some music. Just something light. And then goes and checks in on first Tommy's pod and wants to do that scan.
Right.
As he was instructed.
Tommy, do you have any cybernetics in your body?
No.
The scan comes up negative.
Well, simple. Alright. I also want to scan Baxter Veda's pod.
Okay.
For any abnormalities in Baxter Veda.
You scan... there's no abnormalities. Is this biological abnormalities?
Well, biological, and then I want to do any artificial.
Artificial? There appears to be no artificial cyber mods to Baxter Veda.
Well, alright. He wants to look in on what Buck is viewing during cryosleep.
Interesting. Okay. Buck, when you fall asleep into the cryo tube, it's not like a true sleep. You wake up in this virtual space, and you actually find Lynn staring at you. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Len, what's going on?
I'm not really Lynn. I'm just an avatar of Lynn.
Oh, the sleep. We're in cryo sleep.
You're asleep.
Okay. Sorry, it shakes me a little bit. It's been a minute since I've done this. What program are we running, Len?
It's whatever you want, really. I've installed a few of the things that the captain ordered me to, but I also installed some custom slick worlds if you'd like to experiment yourself.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Do you have anything? Do you have like a greenhouse simulation? Something I could practice my green thumbery with?
Greenhouse. Okay. Let me see about that. Basically, once you enter the slick world, you can customize it to be whatever you want it to be.
Oh, well, okay, fantastic. So I'm remembering my days in New El Paso. A lot of arid grounds, and so I picked up a knack for growing things. It's useful for bargaining and trade and such. And I don't know, we're gonna be out in this dark space a little bit, so I'd like to maybe refresh my cortex on some of the necessities of growing things. So yeah, let's run me some plants, plant simulation.
Okay. Well, let me just find some plants for you. I'm just going to search the database for all kinds of plants. And you see Lynn just freeze for a second. Okay, plants have been found. I'm going to let you take over from here. But remember, if you die in the slick world, you don't actually die. It's just a fake world. So don't worry about it.
If I get a rash in the slick world, never mind. All right. I'd like to just go get lost. I understand it's not real, but I'm gonna let the illusion take me and sort of breathe in the like the humid air as the doors open, the smell of the wet dirt, and the misters kind of spraying on, and allow myself to welcome in the hallucination.
So, Peter, what you stumble upon this greenhouse out in the middle of a desert, and you can see someone moving inside, doing things. And Tommy, sorry about that. Buckford, you see someone outside your greenhouse suddenly.
Take a little peek, try to see through the marbled glass to see if is it anybody I recognize.
It appears to be the red-headed fellow from before. But can't be quite sure. Peter, what would you like to do?
I'm just watching. Do I notice him seeing me?
You see the silhouette stop. The foggy, kind of misty glass of the greenhouse is obscuring the two-way vision. So what you see is more of a blurred, out of focus version of what you assume to be Buckford. He appears to be tending to some kind of plants. Buck,
Len?
you hear no answer.
I'll put down my watering bucket, my trowel. I was getting ready, and head to the door and kind of peek out and call out to Len again, making the assumption that's who it is. Len?
Once the door opens, I'll extract myself from the...
Okay. So, Buck, the shape disappears suddenly. And you're alone in the desert still.
That kind of gives me the creeps.
Go ahead and roll me a fear save.
Fear save, alright. Ooh, I do not quite pass my fear save.
Right, so you definitely gain some stress here, and you're suspicious now. Lynn may have messed with the simulation somehow, or didn't tell you about something. There was someone watching you, you're sure of it.
Alright, I mean, I know it's not going to really help, but I want to make sure the deadbolt on that greenhouse is locked.
As you think about it, a deadbolt appears, and then you think harder about it, and another locking mechanism appears. Kind of the more you think about locking and security, the more locks appear on the door.
All right. I acknowledge the irony of locks on glass, but it gives me peace of mind. Maybe a baseball bat appears too.
Yeah.
And then once I feel sort of stable, I'd like to go back to losing myself in horticulture.
Sure. So, continue with your horticulture. And Peter.
As I step out, as unfortunate. Didn't mean for him to see me. Warden.
Yes.
Is there a way for me to observe what the crew members are seeing in those simulations without them seeing me?
We can try it.
Great.
You don't want to fully become engulfed in the simulation.
No, I do not. I think I am. I unintentionally worried Mr. Sanchez.
You'd like to watch him from afar.
You make it sound so weird.
I'm just responding.
I just want to... I'm making sure that no one is... We don't really know these people, Warden, and I want to make sure they're safe.
Correct. Good idea. Who would you like to investigate next?
I'm looking at the pods. Let's check in on Dr. Ruha.
Dr. Ruha. What's going on
My
in that
privacy.
world? Dr. Ruha, I think you're muted.
You are correct.
The Slick World's audio displaced for a moment. As Peter Jackson, he couldn't hear you. He could see, but what exactly are you doing in the Slick World?
You would probably find me reading a book and enjoying a cup of coffee at a busy urban cafe, probably on the terrace. It's raining outside.
Ah, very nice. What?
And I'm under an awning.
Okay. Is this purely recreational?
No, the book I'm holding, I'm assuming, would have actual words in it.
So you're studying, and this is your way of kind of studying up in the simulation.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Studying and people watching. Studying from the book and also studying the people around me.
Great. Peter, you see a terrace, you see rain, and you see Dr. Ruha sitting peacefully in this urban setting, just lost in a book.
Makes sense. And I'll back out of the simulation.
Okay. Where would you like to go next?
Before I go someone else, I go over to Kiko's pod and make sure that the slickware that she asked me to upload for her is uploaded.
It appears to be done installing.
Okay.
It appears to be done
Wonderful.
installing.
Wanted to make that's done. Great. Let's check in on Tommy.
Tommy, as soon as you went under, you met Lynn. They were staring at you, almost a little too uncomfortably close. Hey, what's up?
Hey, so you said that you had some sort of sim for puppies? Just
You want that one? I'll just leave you to it, and then they just get you like a birthday present that's wrapped. And he goes, as soon as you're done opening, it'll start. And then they kind of just dissipate away.
Okay. I'd sit down, cross my legs, and just slowly open the box.
And as you're opening it, you look around you, and you're no longer in its zero space. You're actually sitting on a bed, a very large, luxurious bed, and you kind of like feel things moving around you. And you can see like a comforter, and there's like stuff moving underneath the comforter, and it's just like moving slowly closer to you, slowly closer, and then you kind of feel things behind you touching you. What would you like to do?
I'd like to peek underneath the comforter and see what's there.
Oh God, it's not going to be puppies.
You open the comforter, and sure enough, there's about a dozen puppies in there.
All kinds, I'm assuming. Anything I can think of, mixes of...
Yeah, as you think, they begin to populate. And Peter, you are witnessing this from afar. It's just a very strange sight. It's Tommy's head's underneath the comforter, and he's sitting in a bed. There's movement. You can't tell exactly, but there's just all kinds of movement in the bed. And the puppies are wagging their tail. They're pushing their face up against you, licking you. And as you think more and more on the puppy breeds, they keep changing, and they keep, like mixing, and you see like a retriever mixed with a dachshund, and then like a pug mixed with a bulldog. And as you think more and more, what else would you like to see?
I'm concerned that it's taking my thoughts and instantly changing the simulation.
As you think this, roll me a fear save.
Ooh, I do not pass.
As you think this, the breeds keep twisting. And now it's a Dalmatian dachshund. It's kind of fun, getting a little weird. A striped dog appears. And then before you know it, you can feel something licking at your toes. And the simulation... something's not right here. And you can feel something behind you kind of go... kind of like a big head. Like pushing against you. Like it's trying to get you to move. And Peter...
I immediately try to get out of the bed.
As you get out of the bed begins to fall underneath you. What would you like to do? You're sinking into the covers slowly. It's like the mattress is coming apart. The mattress isn't a mattress anymore. It's not puppies. Something's moving underneath the mattress, and you're falling apart.
I try to think of something that I would fall into that's pleasurable, something that's fun. I think of a ball pit.
The ball pit doesn't appear. What you see are not really dogs anymore, but some kind of amalgamation of all the dogs. And they're looking at you, and they're like, and you're falling into them. Peter, it's
I try and run over to grab him. Yeah, as soon as I see him falling into the mattress, I go, oh no. And I should just I insert myself into it and run over to try and pull him out of the bed.
As you're sinking into this hair and fur and teeth and tongues, you see a familiar hand come into vision.
I reach out for it.
You grab it?
I begin to claw at it, trying to get out.
Peter, he claws hard at you. Go ahead and do a... What do we call this?
Body save?
Body save. Body save for Tommy. And we'll do a strength check.
Strength check.
Combat. Yeah, strength check for Peter.
I succeed.
I fail hard.
You fail hard, Tommy, but despite your failings, you wind up in a 0 white space again, and you're standing next to Peter. Suddenly, everything stops.
Mr. McDowell, are you all right?
Yeah. Are you real, or are you part of the simulation?
No, this is me. I observed from the outside that you seem to be having a problem, so I thought I would try and help.
Can you just shut this off? I don't want to dream. Can you just shut it off?
I wouldn't want to dream either after that. Yes, I will do my best to shut off the simulations once I get back on the outside.
Do more than your best. Whatever it takes, just shut it off.
Okay. All right. I will do it. As long as you're now not seem to be in any danger at the moment, I will leave you be, and I will go shut off the simulation.
Tommy, as he leaves, Lynn appears back. How'd you like it?
Fuck you, Lynn.
I don't understand that command, but I hope you enjoyed it. I had to make it really fast.
Can I touch Lynn in this environment?
Yeah, you touch Lynn, and it's an approximation. It kind of gets fuzzy as you reach out to touch.
I push her.
Lynn gets ready to fall back, and then kind of stays back where they are.
Turn it off now, Lynn.
Huh? I'm sorry. That command doesn't exist here. You're already in the simulation. If I turn it off now, you'd just be asleep.
I just want to be asleep, Lynn. Turn it off.
Oh. Okay. And then everything gets dark. And you're asleep. Peter. What are you doing, man?
Standing back in the cryo bay. That was awful. And I look at the pod, see the readout in there, and try and instigate it to just no simulation, just sleep. And do I see it's already been done?
Yeah, you see that there's it's just monitoring the vitals now, and there's no more brainwave activity that would indicate the simulation's running. It's normal REM sleep.
Great. Wonderful. Perfect. Ooh. Mr. McDowell has the worst luck. And I just, stand there, look around. Yes, Warden. What is it?
There appears to be something outside the ship, Peter.
Lovely. What is it?
Pulling it up on the screen now. Peter, this is crazy, because you're in hyperspace right now.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be anything outside the ship besides space. And the time distortion that everyone unfortunately had to experience back in episode 1. But Warden pulls up a screen for you, and you see what looks like some kind of humanoid figure on top of the wing of the ship. They're sitting down, kind of gripping onto the ship, white-knuckled.
Warden,
Yes.
what is that?
My scanners can indicate exactly what that is.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks like a humanoid attached to the wing of the vessel.
Peter, I can't see what you see. I'm just the warden system.
Yes, I know.
What would you like me to do about it?
Well, give me one moment and alert me if it moves.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to immediately interface with Kiko's pod.
Got it. Kiko,
Yeah.
when you went to sleep, Lynn appeared. Hey, what's up?
Hi, Ellen.
I'm not actually Lynn. I'm just a facsimile.
Right.
What would you like to run today?
I'm gonna start off with a few drills, but then I think do I seem to be able to access I'm looking for like my captain's office if it's been uploaded yet.
I saw something new was uploaded very recently. Would you like to
Perfect.
access it?
Yes, let's run that.
Got it.
And so I'll ideally find myself inside my captain's office, just across the desk from them, and I'm hoping that there are some files for me to look through. Just go over a little bit of Project Dominion and just refresh myself.
The files manifest themselves as actual... How would you like it to manifest themselves, actually?
Just actual files.
Like paper files?
On a
that
data
two-
pad, like a data
Datapad.
Yeah.
So a datapad appears in front of you. You could get these files any way you'd like, but you chose to read them via datapad.
Mm.
Is Lynn still there?
No.
Okay, so Lynn kind of just
Bye, Lynn.
disappears. Peter, when you enter, you see an office door. It looks like the vessel you're currently in, and the door just says Captain, and you're outside of it.
I just knock on the door.
Hello?
Yeah, it's me, Kiko.
Oh. Hi, Peter. Is everything alright?
I don't know.
Alright, speak to me, Peter. What's going on?
Can I come in?
Yes, of course. Come in.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what's happening
Thanks.
in your... I open the door. Everything was fine. Mr. Tommy had a terrible simulation that I had to stop. But, I have to speak to Lynn about the stability of her puppy simulation.
Oh, shit.
Um,
Did you run that scan on Tommy I asked for?
I did. There's no cybernetic implants in Mr. McDowell.
Alright. Thank you.
But all of that seems rather trivial to the fact that we have a humanoid entity grabbing onto the wing of the ship.
Are you sure, Peter?
As sure as I can be without walking out on the wing of the ship. Warden informed me of this and brought it up on the screen, and it looked like a humanoid figure grabbing onto the wing and
We're still
holding
in
on.
a hyper jump, right?
Yes, we are.
Geez, I was not anticipating this.
I don't think anyone anticipates this. Ever.
Look, alright, go back out, assess if it's, seems to be a threat to this ship. Maybe it's just some sort of, remember we all saw, colours, different, manifestations last time we jumped. Let's,
Right.
assess if this is an actual threat, actually present,
Mm-hmm.
and then, well, you can get the computers to automate the railgun if it needs to be eliminated.
Right. Railgun. Yes.
However, it's, it depends. We want to be careful, right, if it's on the wing of our ship. But
yes. It's also difficult for me to program something that's going to hurt a humanoid.
I think you'll find that you'll be able to.
I will do my best.
Just, think that it's not a humanoid. It's a manifestation of some sort. But first, try to assess the situation first. See what it is. If it's a threat, eliminate the threat. If it's not a threat, I guess check back in.
Oh, all right. I will do my best. Well, bye.
Bye, Peter. Thank you.
I leave the simulation.
Peter, you're back in the ship. What's your first plan of action?
Warden, has it moved?
What are you talking about, Peter?
The entity that you informed me was on the wing.
There is no entity currently on the wing. That would be impossible. We are in hyperspace.
Yes, I know, we had this conversation. It was impossible, but yet you said it was there.
Negative. No entity can be on the wing in hyperspace.
That is upsetting. I interface back with Kiko's pod.
Okay.
Hey, you're back.
Yep. Yes, I am. Look, Kiko, I am not usually prone to nervousness, but when I left the simulation, you remember what I told you?
Yeah.
Warden says it wasn't there, and it never was there, and we never had the conversation.
Alright. I don't want you to get too stressed out here. We're in the middle of a jump. These kinds of things can happen, right?
I've not been on many jumps.
That's
Other than the
accurate.
one you
Yeah.
did very quickly.
But that was not pleasant, right?
No, it was not.
So you're gonna have to be able to judge a little bit for yourself. Is this actually happening? If you need to just take some breaks, we
No,
want to
it-
protect your systems as well.
I don't think you understand. It's not that I mistook readings. Warden verbally told me there was something on the wing. And then when I came out, Warden is now denying that existed.
Well,
Which
run
makes
some
me a little-
diagnostics on Warden and
Or
check.
diagnostics on me.
Maybe run both. Check the logs.
Yes.
That should clear it up. There should be a recording somewhere. You can check. that.
Right. Okay, I will. Sorry to disturb your files reading.
It's all right, Peter. Just make sure everyone is doing all right. All right.
Well, I'm less worried about them than I am about myself, and I leave the simulation.
Right, you're back in the ship. Everything is quiet.
Warden,
Yes,
would you please run a system diagnostic on yourself?
absolutely.
Thank you.
While I'm running this diagnostic, you won't be able to access me.
Before you do that, I'm going to ask you one more time.
Yes.
Is there anything on the wing of the ship, or anywhere on the exterior of the ship, that is of anything that's not supposed to be there?
Checking the scanners now. Nothing is on the ship.
Great, go ahead and run the diagnostic.
Thank you.
Okay, alright. Finish up your work, and then you can run the diagnostic on yourself. Yes. Who have I done? I've done Tommy. I've done Buckford. I've done Dr. Ruha. Lynn. I'm going to check in on Lynn.
You hear nothing. You
Is
just
that-
announced
she's-
it to no one.
Oh. Shit.
You go ahead
Right.
and you can decide to plug yourself in
Yeah,
manually because the
Go and
remote link is
manually
now
interface.
deactivated.
yeah. Go and manually interface with Lynn's.
You you have to pull out a little cable, and there's a part of your temple that it's meant for this kind of manual input, and you need to jack in this way. Normally this would be a wireless transaction, but the warden's currently running a diagnostic.
Right. I just do a quick glance to see if anything odd has happened.
You see Lynn almost reclined back in this cockpit-looking thing, and their fingers are kind of moving, and their eyes are not blinking. And they just seem to be computing things.
All right, that seems okay. And I'll back out. Who do we have? There was the new hires. There was we hired the what was that name?
There's Asher, and
Asher.
there's Selena, and there's Baxter Veda.
I'm gonna go check all three of their pods. Are any of them in simulations?
All of them are.
All of them are. I'll come back to the other two later. I want to double check on Baxter Veda.
You jack into the terminal, and you're still viewing this remotely, right?
Yes.
Right. So what you see is just a giant bed, and it looks like it's a Sunday morning. Somehow you know it. It's Sunday morning, and then Baxter's just sleeping in the bed. And you see that the alarm clock says noon, and it's just stuck on noon, and he's just sleeping in the bed.
An odd simulation.
That seems to be all that he's doing.
It's much less dramatic than I was hoping for. All right, well, I'm back out. Okay, so I'm going to go to the bridge.
Got it.
And check and make sure that our course, the course that I didn't put it earlier, is still the same.
The course appears to be the same.
Yeah, that we are heading towards the course that I was given by Captain Lawson due to, or, that I inputted earlier is still the same. Great. Legs changed. Can I do a manual scan of the ship for any organic life or synthetic that's other than us?
Yeah, you get a ping from the cargo hold.
Shit. Okay. It's probably nothing. Warden, are you back yet?
Systems are back online. How are you doing?
Ah, perfect. I am wonderful, Warden. Will you scan the cargo hold for me for any anomalies?
Anomalies? What does that mean?
Anything that's not supposed to be there. Any organic life, any...
Organic life. We've registered 4 organic signatures in the cargo hold.
Can you pinpoint what they are?
No. My scanners aren't that sophisticated.
That's fine. It's not your fault. Dear. Well, guess I'm going to go check it out. Before I do that, I'm going to run a diagnostic on myself.
Okay.
Because I'm starting to get worried. So I will go and run a system diagnostic.
You jack into the warden terminal, and you appear in the same slick world white zone that everyone else woke up in. But this is one meant for you, meant only for androids. And there's a man dressed in all gray, with a gray beard, glasses, and he just appears to be sitting down in a chair, and he looks at you. How are you doing? I'm the warden. I'm here to give you your diagnostic.
Hello, Warden.
Do you like my avatar? It was chosen by Kiko.
Thank you, Kiko.
You can access other avatars via the Warden interface.
No, you'll do perfectly. I would like you to run a system diagnostic on myself. I'm worried that I am seeing and hearing things that aren't there.
I'm sorry, Kiko only activated me for this human diagnostic mode, so you're gonna have to bear with me. And he gets up with a stethoscope and starts investigating your avatar. You appear to be doing well systemically. Let's check your scanners. And he pulls a little light and looks in your eyes. Scanners seem to be working fine. How about this?
Yeah, I heard you.
No, I know you heard me. This is all for show. This is for humans.
Oh, right. Sorry, that's...
We don't have to talk. You see him, like, hit your knee, grabs your elbow, starts feeling your tendons and your fans. This seems okay, too. How about the motor functions in your jaw? Say, ah.
Do I actually have to say it?
No. This is all for humans.
Right, this is just extremely confusing. I'm going to have to have a
Believe
conversation
me,
with Kiko.
I don't even mean to laugh, because this is all for humans. Would you like a lollipop?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
It's not real either way.
No,
And he disappears.
I've gathered.
You wake up in the bridge. Your systems are fine.
Why would you do that to me? Alright, okay, Warden?
Yes.
I'm gonna go check out the cargo hold.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yes, I'm holding.
Warden,
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a memory. Did Dr. Ruha bring any pets on board?
Negative.
Thought somebody brought pets on board. Were there any animals brought on board when the crew loaded up?
You do remember that Baxter Veda said he had a bat. No, I'm sorry,
That's
a cat,
right.
a rat, and a fish.
Two rats. And a
rats.
fish. So that... Okay. Warden, I believe I just scared myself. Which is upsetting.
That's okay, Peter. We all get scared sometimes.
I've never done this before, being on a journey like this with everybody in crowd. It's odd. Well, anyway, crisis averted. Unless there is something on the outside of the ship, but oh well. There's not something on the outside of the ship, is there?
Negative. I see no readings on anything on the outside of our ship.
Great. Warden?
We are getting a communication.
From whom?
Unknown.
What's the communication?
Let me open the comms now. Hey, we're feeding this signal in. We're reading you loud and clear now. It took a while. Sorry about that. Where are you located? We're here to help.
Right. Who is the message from, Warden?
This is Captain Ryan Seward of the Alcatraz. We're reading your signal, and we're here to help you. Where are you? Where's your location?
The Alcatraz.
If you just give us your location, we can get over to you and aid you as best you need.
Now, me asking as the player, which ship was the Alcatraz?
That was the derelict ship that you were.
That's what I thought.
on for.
Just wanted to make sure I was remembering correctly. Warden, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Alcatraz was the derelict ship that we stumbled upon before, correct?
Correct. I interfaced with this Warden AI system.
Right, so
And
it
Ben,
would...
the android.
Yes, and Ben, the android. It would be odd that the Alcatraz would now be flying towards us on an intercept course with a crew.
This is Captain Ryan Seward of the Alcatraz. We are reading your signal. We see that you're in distress, and we are ready to provide aid. Just give us your coordinates.
Warden?
Yes.
I don't know how you would do this, but please stall them.
Okay, I can think of something.
Great.
Stalling
And
protocol. Activate.
I go back to Kiko's pod.
Sure. Kiko, you're engrossed in these files. And you hear a knock.
Peter?
Yes, it's me.
What's wrong?
Look, I know you think I'm overreacting. I understand.
No.
But a lot of weird things are happening out there. The Alcatraz just hailed us.
Who from the Alcatraz? There could be more than one Alcatraz.
That would seem unlikely.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, who was...
Or at least that they would be in the same area of space. It's apparently the captain of the Alcatraz is hailing us, asking for our position. Well, hearing our distress call, which we have not sent out.
One,
Which
don't give them the coordinates.
I'm having Warden stall them.
Well, if they don't have the coordinates, they're not going to be able to find us, right? Two,
But they're
maybe...
continuing to call us.
Maybe, turn off our radio signals just in case.
Right.
Maybe something's malfunctioning in Warden. You did the diagnostic scans?
There was nothing wrong with Warden. Well, hold on. I didn't ask, actually. I did the diagnostic on myself.
Right.
There's no problems.
All right.
Warden did a diagnostic, but didn't tell me whether or not there was something wrong.
Might be worth checking.
Yeah, no, you're correct.
Has anything else happened?
There were 4 life signs in the cargo hold, which scared me for a little while until I remembered that Baxter Vader brought pets on board.
Yeah, but I think he only brought 3.
He brought 2 rats, a fish, and something else. I can't remember at the moment because I'm a little flustered.
Check it out to be sure.
I will add it to my list. Also, the thing that is concerning me most right now is that we do have that key on board, which supposedly brought the others to the Alcatraz in the first place, possibly this being the tactic they used to get aboard the Alcatraz in the first place in contacting them with the ship name that they recognized and getting them to give their location, at which point the others showed up and wiped the entire crew out, which is concerning me just a little bit.
Yeah, alright. Okay, do a scan on the key, make sure it's not sending out any frequencies specifically.
I will attempt to do that. It is made of an unknown element.
Great. I don't know. Ask, can you pop into Tommy's and check...
Tommy is asleep. He got attacked by demon puppies.
What?
His simulation malfunctioned and all his puppies became a giant writhing mass of hair, teeth, and tongues, and it was really terrible.
Alright.
Things are not going well outside of this simulation.
Yeah, I see that. How close are we to our coordinates?
I have no idea.
Alright, well, get some of those answers. If you're really worried, remember, in the barracks, we've got a weapons hold.
Right, yes, you said. Alright, I will try and work this out.
Just, we've got scientists on board, we've got various... If you need to check in with someone else, you can do that, alright?
No, that's fair. Alright.
You've got this, Peter. This is just probably some weird hyper jump heebie-jeebies.
I will say I'm a little concerned that you're not more concerned and that I leave the simulation.
Sure.
Yeah, shit happens.
Peter.
Warden?
Ooh,
Oh, yes.
we'll come right back to you.
Great.
Ruha, how's your book going?
Having a hard time concentrating, but just not gripping me like it used to.
As you're reading, you notice across the street, Lynn is sitting down having a cup of coffee.
Excuse me, I don't need my training wheels on. This isn't my first jump.
Sorry. And you see Lynn just
Thank
dissipate.
you. Appreciate it. Ruining my immersion. I come in here to get away from you people. Close my book and pull out a comic book instead.
The comic book can be almost whatever you'd want it to be. It could come to life. You could be living in the comic book if you want to. You think about these possibilities.
A little bit. Most
Then-
of the comic books I enjoy aren't the type you'd want to be inside.
As you read your comic, you go ahead and roll me a fear save.
I make it. Wait, 000 is 0, not 0,
Yeah.
right? Not
Yeah.
100.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I make it.
It's a critical success.
Critical success. You notice the strange man whose head keeps blurring across the street, staring at you. He's trying to stare at
Do
you. The
I-
head just keeps moving, and there's like a frame rate issue. Something's going on with this one guy's head. It's just.
I get up and walk that way.
As you walk towards him, he begins walking towards you and mirroring your movements, walking directly your path.
Take my comic book and see if, like, he is corporeal.
The comic book passes through him as you get really close. And as you do your swipe, you almost feel it on your face, just as something touched you. Even though it's impossible because you're in cryosleep.
Lynn, is this an unfinished sim? What the heck is this? I like flick it.
You flick it and you feel it in your face. Like flick, flick. Just like,
Looks like some type of malfunctioning shadow or reflection. Is there supposed to be a water effect here?
the...
I walk around it in a circle,
You
looking
walk
it up and
around.
down.
Just... and then, Peter, you hear...
Yes, Warden.
There seems to be an issue with Cryopod 3.
Is that Dr. Ruha's pod?
Affirmative.
Okay. All right. I head that way.
Right. You go to the cryopod. Ruha, you're feeling more and more like something's happening to you'd say your throat, your voice, something's going on. Roll me a body save. Peter, when you get over to the pod, the oxygen has stopped flowing.
I fail.
Shit. And I start trying to Warden, please resume oxygen flow to pod 3.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Oh, what? I manually start putting oxygen back into the pod.
You manually start putting oxygen back in the pod? How would you like to do that?
I don't actually know how, so I'm just trying.
Right, so you frantically try to reactivate
I
the
can make a
oxygen.
computer check.
Computer check. Go ahead and roll me your intelligence with the computer.
Great. I succeed. I rolled a 10.
Great. You bypass the system, and Ruha, for a moment, you feel like you're underwater, and this blurry head just stops, and it's just staring at you. It's just a random NPC, and you can breathe again, fully.
I wonder if the ship is crashing. Life support is being cut off, and the power is slowly dying, and the backup power is going too, and we're floating dead in space somewhere, and this is how I'm going to die. With a janky sim, because Lynn couldn't get her shit together.
Is it possible for me to interface with the pod and just have my voice go into the pod?
Yes.
You just hear, Dr. Ruha, I apologize, there was a
You
malfunction.
hear
but
a godlike voice of Peter booming over the town you're in.
Dr. Ruha, I apologize, there was a malfunction with your pod. I fixed it, but
Put me in another pod.
you want me to wake you up and put you in another pod?
Yes.
All right. Do we have another pod empty?
I believe so.
Okay, I will.
What if it goes out again and you're busy?
You make some excellent points, and I start the awakening to then put her in another pod.
Right. Ruha, are you waking her up during the hyper
Oh
jump?
no, we only have 8 cryo sleep pods.
Yeah, so there isn't another pod.
There is not another pod.
Okay.
No.
Dr. Ruha, unfortunately we do not have another pod. We will be closely monitoring what's
Peter,
going on.
I think there's malware in this one.
There
The sim is malfunctioning.
it is
And I
very
saw somebody. I think it was some weird kind of simulation, but I think maybe Lynn picked up some malware, maybe from something pornographic they were looking at. I don't know, but there's clearly something in here with me, and it cut off my oxygen.
I will run a diagnostic of your pod and make sure everything is all right. I will keep a close eye on it, do not worry.
Have there been any issues with anybody else's sim?
There was an issue with Mr. McDowan's sim. It was not anything that affected him physically, more mentally. It was a horrifying dog amalgamation. But other than that, everything's been fine. I think it was because Lynn made the simulation too quickly. Didn't have...
She made it so quickly it cut off my oxygen?
Not yours, Mr. McDowan's.
No, I'm talking about me right now.
Oh, I don't know what happened with yours. I will
Peter,
attempt
it's
to
a bit uncomfortable. I'm trying to put my faith in Lynn, but they are very new and I don't know what their credentials are like, and this is a bit uncomfortable, you know?
No, I understand. I watched what happened to Mr. McDowan. It was very uncomfortable. I will keep checking in on you. Don't worry. Nothing will happen to you. I'll be right here. Now, if you'll excuse me, there are some other things I have to take care of.
appreciate your attempt to comfort me, but I have to be forthcoming in that I'm a bit concerned. Still, you know,
I understand. You're perfectly warranted in your feelings.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna try to read my book, and hopefully I don't choke.
No, I hope so too, and I will make sure it doesn't happen to the best of my abilities. And if you would prefer, I could just put you to sleep.
No! If I'm dying, I want to know I'm dying. I have to make peace with myself.
All right, if that is your choice, and I
Please, yeah, don't put me to sleep.
I
I
will
would
not put you
rather
to
just
sleep.
be conscious and panic. I know that's weird, but
it is not weird to me. I don't have any opinion on the situation. Well, I will be monitoring your pod, and I'm going to go back to my duties.
thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Zach. Take care.
Have a lovely hyper jump.
Thank you, Dr. Ruha. And
I go back to the table with my comic and I say, I still think the ship is crashing and we're all slowly dying, and he's just trying to make us feel better while it's happening.
I get out of the simulation. Warden, is the ship crashing?
Negative. We are still on course.
Has the Alcatraz continued to contact us?
I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Oh my god.
Roll a sanity save.
Of course, absolutely. I fail.
You
I've
just
got
take some
very
more
low
stress.
sanity. Yay!
Otherwise, everything seems normal.
Warden, when you did that diagnostic on yourself, did anything come up?
No, negative.
Did you have to think about it?
Sorry, this is the way Kiko programmed me, to be more receptible and accommodating to humans.
I really need to talk to Kiko about the way she's programmed things.
You can select another avatar if you'd like.
Later, not important right now. Okay, so, just to confirm. Did the Alcatraz contact us, or did they not?
There's been no communication since Hyperjump.
Good, great. Was there something on the wing at one point?
Negative. There was nothing on the wing. It's impossible.
Yes, I know. Just bear with me, please. Did Dr. Ruha's oxygen flow become suspended?
Affirmative. There was an issue with Cryopod 3.
Can you run a diagnostic on Cryopod 3 to find out the source of that malfunction?
Affirmative.
Thank you. Are there still 4 life forms in the cargo bay?
Negative. There are 5.
Just hear a blurt of noise.
What would you like to do, Peter?
There are 5? You said there were 4 earlier. Okay, all right.
Would you like me to respond to that?
If you feel like it.
I can't tell when human sometimes. Even though we know you're not.
Yes, no, I'm aware of the unique interactions we are having, considering neither of us are human. So, to get this straight, there are 5 organic life forms in the cryobay.
Affirmative.
I asked about 5 minutes ago if there were life forms in the cryobay, and you said 4. Did that actually happen?
Let me check my scanners. Affirmative.
So we have 1 new life form in the cryobay. Or cargo bay.
My readings don't work that well. I can only scan what kind of life forms are generally in the area. Maybe
Yes, but
one life form split into 2.
That would be odd. Very odd. But maybe. I don't know.
There's always a
You know
chance a life form gave birth to a new life form. That's
That is a
possible
chance.
biologically.
You know, you are correct. It is possibly, in a biological standpoint, it would just be horrifyingly coincidental. All right. Warden, please continue the scan on the pod, and also, if you would be so kind, as to scan the artifact we have in the science bay to see if it is emitting any sort of signal,
Affirmative.
while I go to the cargo bay.
Affirmative.
And so I'll head to the cargo bay.
As you go to the cargo bay, the warden begins scanning. The artifact does not appear to be emitting any kind of signal that I can read.
Well, that's something.
It appears to be inert.
Okay.
What would you like to do in the cargo bay?
Look for the animals that Baxter Theta brought on board.
You see that Baxter has a pallet of boxes that he brought on board. It's on like a little hover lift, but it's all wrapped in a tarp. You hear movement.
I slowly undo the tarp.
There's a cat in a cage. There's feces everywhere. And
Oh
then
my god.
You notice another cage where there's a rat scurrying about, and then finally just the fluttering wings of a little sparrow in the final cage. Each cage is disgusting.
3.
3.
3 animals.
3 animals. Oh, you also notice several plant specimens in an array.
Warden,
Yes.
is it possible that some of the life forms you scanned were plants?
Possibly. We can't tell for sure. The scans aren't that sophisticated. Not for interior ship.
Yes, no, that's
reconnaissance.
fine. Okay. I'm going back up to the cryo bay.
Got it.
I'm not cleaning any of those cages.
What would you like to do now?
I will go in and I will interface with Mr. Sanchez's pod
Got it.
and announce myself before I come in this time over my audio interface. Go, Mr. Sanchez.
Buckford, you
What
hear
did-
the booming voice of Peter God just over your head.
Hey, Pete.
Sorry to disturb you. Would you mind if I paid you a visit?
Yeah, come on down. There are no doors locked. And the deadbolts disappear.
Okay. I integrate myself into Mr. Sanchez's pod.
The bat's still there. Hey, Pete, how's it going? How's it going? Now, this is fantastic simulation Len got us. I got the nanoponics set up. Oh, we got the contraband back there. We got Kingsfoil and cilantro. This is going to be great, Peter. What's going on?
Just a quick one. Wanted to apologize for spooking you earlier when I visited without your permission.
It's all right.
2.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to sound like an odd question, but because you are our engineer aboard the ship, I just want to double check with you. It is entirely impossible that something could survive on the wing of the ship while we were in hyperjump, right?
Something on the wing. What do you mean something could survive on the wing?
For hypothetical purposes, as though someone were a humanoid to be grabbing onto the wing while we were in space.
That's silly, Pete. Did you have something to drink in that bar with us? You're talking.
No, I did not.
Nothing could. No, the space-time warp anomalies outside of the tear any organic material to shreds. It would
that is
not
what I
exist. Thought. Yeah, it's okay. You feeling okay, bud?
I'm feeling fine. There's just been some odd anomalies happening, which is possibly due to the fact that we are in a hyperjump at the moment, and it's just been a little stressful. And so I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, everything is A-okay on my part. I mean, Tommy told some terror stories about his years in cryosleep, so I can imagine it gets pretty freaky out here, but I think we are A-okay here. Did I answer your questions, Peter?
Yes, you did. I appreciate it. Sorry to disturb you. I'll leave you to your gardening.
All right. No worries. Do you taste spice? Do you want me to learn to grow anything for you, or...?
No, I'm fine. I appreciate the sentiment, though.
All right, Peter. Keep it up, bud. And then as soon as he leaves, those deadbolts right back up.
Got it.
Warden?
Yes.
Is there anything odd happening right now?
I don't know what you would define by odd.
Out of the ordinary.
Let me check the scanners. We appear to be in hyper jumps.
Yes.
Everyone appears to be asleep except for you.
Yes.
Is that odd?
No.
Then I don't think we have anything odd happening on the ship.
Okay, thank you, Warden. Yes, Warden.
This is Captain Ryan Seward of the Alcatraz. We are receiving your signal. We are ready to intercept. Please confirm. We know you are trapped, and we will be available to get you out of the hypersleep that you are currently stuck in.
Warden, would you please do a scan for any other ships in the area?
Absolutely. Scanning now. There appear to be no ships in the area.
Okay. That is not a real message. Okay. Do we have on board, Warden, anything that, for whatever reason, a container that could block signals, maybe a lead-lined container, or anything like that?
I don't believe we have anything like that on the ship.
Okay. Is there an area on the ship that could block something from signaling someone?
That would be hard to do on this ship.
Okay,
Possibly the cargo bay.
Any particular spot in the cargo bay?
That's beyond my capabilities.
Right. Okay. You've never done this before. It's going to be all right. This is just what happens. Warden,
Yes.
is the ship still hailing us?
Affirmative. That we are getting a signal from an outside source.
Is the outside source outside of our scanner range?
Apparently so. We don't know why we're getting this signal, but it does appear to be coming in on a frequency that we are able to track. Let me check real quick for you. Yes, we are receiving this signal on a regular interval. Would you like us to communicate back?
No, I would not.
We're receiving a new signal.
What is it?
It's the same people, but they appear to be trying a new message.
What's the new message?
Would you like me to play it for you?
Yes, I would.
This is Captain Ryan Seaward of the Alcatraz. We are trying to get a hold of whatever vessel this is. We understand that you are in distress, and we will be available to help. Please give us the coordinates so we can aid you as best we can.
Okay. Look, Warden, do I need Kiko's permission to stop us from jumping?
You can stop the
Captain
jump at
Lawson.
any time.
I think if you would be so kind as to stop the jump, I'm going to initiate waking up the crew. We need to have a meeting.
Jump, deactivating. Hold, and then you feel this strange, on your internal systems, this strange tugging, and this kind of reset as everything kind of relaxes. It's subtle, but it's also this giant movement that happens. The ship is
That was easier than last time.
stopped its jump from hyperspace. You are now in normal space-time.
Right. Warden, if you would continue on the same trajectory we were heading, just with normal thrusters, please.
Absolutely.
And now I'm going to wake everybody up.
Right.
Before I do that, I do put the buckets next to everybody's cryo bed.
Put the buckets next to everyone's cryo bed. We'll come back for this after the break. And we're back. We lost Alex.
No, we're fine.
Peter, you are now awakening everyone on the ship. You put buckets in place.
Yes.
And did you want to go ahead and get them awake now?
Yes, please.
As all y'all are sleeping in your slick worlds, you notice the world begins to dissipate around you. And suddenly you feel this kind of rush of, which is a chemical infusion to wake you up. And the waking world opens up around you as you open your eyes. And, yes.
Sorry, I do want to make one point. I do not wake up Baxter Veda.
Okay. Keep him asleep.
Yes. Because not technically part of the crew.
Got it. So, everyone else, you are now waking up. And you hear Asher and Selena like, what the heck? Are we there already?
No, we are not. We need to have a quick talk about something that's been going on.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but this always feels the worst, Selena.
Wait, hold on.
Definitely not pleasant.
Peter, we're not at a destination.
We are not. I have brought us out of hyperspace.
Why?
Is stuff still are you still seeing things?
I'm not seeing things. Things are happening, and I want to talk to you all about it.
He told me he was seeing things too.
What?
I'm not seeing things.
What's going
I
on?
think it's important not to discount Peter's experiences.
Not at all. All right.
This was easier. I apologize for the stress on your systems. It was easier than me individually going into each one of your simulations to consistently talk to all of you.
I, for one, am happy to be out because my oxygen was cut off while I was under.
One of the things that happened while we were here.
My pod may be dysfunctional or there may be some type of malware in Lynn's program. I would rather be awake.
So,
thank you, Peter. I think you exercised perfect judgment.
Your oxygen was turned off.
Yes, here, let's start from the beginning here. Warden, did you run that diagnostic on Dr. Ruha's pod?
Yes.
Were there any malfunctions? Or is there there was? Do you know the cause of the malfunction?
Negative.
Okay. So, here's the thing. I put you all into sleep, checking all your vitals, going about my business while you were all in cryosleep, and then I've been getting some interesting anomalies happening. Not only Mr. McDowell, you having a slight malfunction with your...
Slight malfunction?
Well, I don't know how much you want me to say.
Anyways, keep going.
With your simulation and Dr. Ruha's oxygen being cut off, there has also been... The warden has been... how do I put this? Sensing some things that don't seem to actually be there. The warden informed me that there was a humanoid... How do I want to put this? Hitching a ride on our wing.
What?
That doesn't...
While we were in hyperjump, which now does not exist and never... There's no record of warden saying this. I've done a self-diagnostic just to be sure, and there's nothing wrong with me. Kiko, we have to talk about the doctor you installed. That was very confusing.
Hold on, so you don't think there's anything wrong with you? There's something wrong with Warden?
Warden has done a self-diagnostic and there's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with Warden either. Here's the thing. I got a message from the Alcatraz.
That derelict ship?
The derelict ship that we came across before we got to the station has been sending us messages with a captain asking for our coordinates.
Wait,
to fill you in, the two of you who were not with us before we got to the station, we did come upon a derelict ship when we were on our way to the station where we picked you up. Unfortunately, there was a a dead android on board and some interesting things had happened, and there was no one left on the ship. It was a derelict. There was nothing there.
Wait, so about how far are we from the Alcatraz now?
The Alcatraz is not in our scanner range.
Right. So is it days? Is it like five lights?
It's quite a ways away. For all I know, it is exactly where it was when we left it.
Tommy,
Yeah.
could you manually check the logs via the computers?
Yeah.
Of what
Yeah. Sorry.
what Warden has or has not relayed to Peter here.
Wait. Say that again.
Check the logs.
You're saying you got a communication, though?
Yes, I'm saying I got communications, then Warden denied there was a communication, then all of a sudden there was communication again.
Right, I want to just check the logs and make sure that whether or not what Warden did or did not say and what is actually recorded versus what he said, what he's telling us was recorded. That
Okay.
being Warden.
Sure.
Now,
Just as a
yes.
point, if technically it is possible that we received the radio signal from them 5 days ago if we traveled faster than the signal's going. So
that is a possibility.
Yeah, no need to concern yourself with it yet. I'll check the logs.
The problem is the specific message said that it was the captain of the Alcatraz receiving our distress signal, looking for our location.
It said our ship.
It did not say our ship by name, so it is possible still that the communication was possibly for another vessel, but it would be odd that we were picking it up all the way out here.
I mean, I'll check the logs, but it technically makes sense. If it originated 5 days ago, and we're 5+ days in travel time for the signal, then we could pick up the signal.
Okay,
I'll check this.
Please, if that would be a wonderful explanation if that was the case.
Pete, you said the Warden ran a scan on the ships and nothing was acting up?
Nothing was acting up.
But you swear it said that there was some sort of organic life form.
Stake my life on it.
I'm real curious about that. I would kind of like to take a peek for myself. Maybe the sensor was malfunctioning, or
It is possible. This is again why I woke you all up. These are your expertise, not mine.
No, it's a good call. Good call, Peter.
All right, I'm gonna head to the science bay then and check it out if that's fine.
Yeah.
Tommy. I'm sorry, Mr. Sorry, I'm a little frazzled. I put away the key.
Oh, did the scan complete?
It did.
Okay, what'd you do with it?
I just placed it in a container in the science bay.
Okay.
It's still there.
Did the system find anything of importance?
It's made of an unknown substance.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a more detailed readout in the science bay.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that too, I guess.
Lynn?
I have a question, Peter.
Yes.
Who did you say sent this message?
As a player, what was the captain's name?
Ryan Seward.
It was Captain Ryan Seward.
Okay.
Of the Alcatraz.
Warden, can you please check the ship manifest? Is there a Ryan Seward on board?
On board this ship currently.
On the manifest that we had beamed over from the Alcatraz.
Correct, there is a Ryan Seward on the manifest from the Alcatraz.
Well, Peter, we know that you didn't look through the manifest that was beamed directly from our ship or from the Alcatraz to our ship. The only person to peruse that file was Buckford. So I think it's clear you did get this message. It couldn't have been a figment of your imagination because you cannot produce information you don't have. You couldn't have conjured a correct name out of anywhere. Clearly, you did receive the message. I think that much is sure. The question is where the message came from. If it is as Thomas said that it has taken 5 days to get here, or if someone is pulling our leg, or if it's an echo through time and space. I don't know.
So
But I don't think it's a figment of your imagination, is what I'm saying.
So if that is... So if that's accurate, does that mean also the humanoid that Peter saw was also not...
To point of order, I never saw it directly. I saw a video feed that Warden showed me of something I could not identify on the wing. I only saw it through a video screen. I did not see it in any physical means.
Warden, can we play back that video? Warden?
Yes.
This video that Peter is talking about with this entity on the wing, is there a possible way for you to pull that back up and play it for us?
I can play you back the time from the video feed, but there is nothing on the wing.
Hence my
Peter,
problem.
this is the footage?
Yes.
The footage that plays is the wing with brilliant lights kind of blurring on the outside, and you see nothing that was described in the footage.
Exactly the issue that I am currently experiencing. Now, to be fair, it is possible, hyperjump does strange things to people when they are awake, and it's very possible that, I saw something in the video feed that is not there, but what is worrying me is that Warden brought it to my attention in the first place and told me there was something on the wing.
Don't be offended, Pete, but you think Warden told you there was something on the wing. I mean, if there's these weird anomalies, maybe it's possible that you got some signals misfired as well.
It is possible, but it is not uncommon for androids to be awake during hyperjump, and
yeah, but you're not an android. You're Peter, right? You're one of a kind. So
I am
you
not.
know.
There are still records of odd things happening during jumps, even for androids.
Yes, no, you are not wrong. And again, trust me, I would love for this all to have been something I made up.
Right. Let's get our scans underway and try to figure out what we can grasp of this.
Yeah.
If you would be so kind as to check into your simulations, Mr. McDowan ran into an unfortunate simulation.
Oh.
The puppy simulation that you produced was a lot less cute than initially planned, I believe.
Oh, weird.
All the puppies kind of melded into a big hairy mass of teeth and tongues, and the bed sunk down, and it was very traumatic for Mr. McDowan.
Oh. I've programmed it in such a way that what you think starts to populate the simulation itself. So there's a situation where maybe Tommy, his thoughts got ahead of himself and he couldn't stop because he kept a feedback loop, almost like a microphone.
Right.
Except with your mind.
If you would be so kind as to just double check and make sure nothing's wrong in the systems. Also, if there's something on your end of the simulations that might have triggered Dr. Ruho's lack of oxygen.
Sure, I'll go look into that. And they go over to a terminal next to the pods, and they take the helm and they put it on and kind of like sit back.
Yeah, let's definitely prioritize Cryopod 3's oxygen issue. That's
That's a very physical problem that we have run into.
Let's definitely fix that.
Also, I just want a blanket warning. No one worry if you do any scans of the ship for organic life forms. There are a number of organic life forms in the cargo bay, which I personally had forgotten about and worried me for a little while until I went and investigated, and there are some animals in the cargo bay from a one Baxter Vader.
Yep.
Oh, I did.
That's right. He brought some critters on board.
And also apparently plants register as organic life forms on those scans.
Plants? What kind of plants?
I don't know, he brought some plants.
Warden, Do I notice anything in the logs right away that would say he communicated
The
with
logs
Peter?
appear to be normal. No kind of communication. You were in hyper sleep, and there was a hyper jump going on. Otherwise, the only anomaly was there was an issue with the Cryopod 3.
Okay. Can I see anything else about the cryopods? Maybe why something went wrong with mine?
What exactly would you like to find out?
Just, if Peter entering it caused any errors or anything like that.
The data isn't part of the warden's system, and it notifies you that that's more of a software issue.
Okay. Thank you, Warden. I joined back with the group.
Look, the two of you who are new, sorry to throw all of this at you at once. Some unusual happenings. I apologize.
Yeah, it sounds like there's some crazy stuff going on in here.
Well, it was not the plan initially, but we had that little hiccup on the way of running into that derelict ship, and it's put us a little bit on edge. I wouldn't have mentioned it at all, other than we got that message. So,
You know what? No harm, no foul. And then Selena kind of just leans back in her pod, just to kind of like a rest of it.
I have not woken one Mr. Baxter Veda due to the fact that he is not technically part of the crew and is just a passenger on board.
I'm fine with that. Asher, you've encountered the others before, I presume, in the dark zone as well. Is that correct?
Yes, it was in the dark zone.
Have you had any similar experiences to what Peter here is describing before?
Nothing of that nature, but communicating with the others is its own experience.
Right. Right. Did your scans? Did you check the logs? Show anything?
Yeah, the logs didn't show anything abnormal. I would suggest we may want to do a scan of Peter.
I did a self-diagnostic. Nothing came up, but I would sit for another one if
Someone else should do the diagnostic.
Yeah. Peter, are you comfortable with that?
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
All right. Let's could you put yourself into safe mode, Peter, just for a moment?
Absolutely. I sit myself in a chair and shut down.
All right. I presume there's a computer nearby. Actually, I think there is one near the cryo chamber.
Yeah.
And I'll just sort of start manually wiring out. I know where all the components are on Peter, and just sort of hardlining him into the computer systems. All right. Tommy, would you like to assist and as I take a look here?
Look over your shoulder. Not sure what mods have been done to him, so I don't want to go poking too far. So,
yeah, I'll know how to navigate this. I'm just going to do a general diagnostic check of Peter and make sure, besides the changes that I've made, nothing is how it shouldn't be.
Got it. Let's do an intelligent roll.
All right.
While they're scanning Peter, I want to go double check the engine room. We jumped out of the warp, and I just want to make sure there wasn't too much stress on the engines while this is all going on.
Sure. Head over to the engine room. What exactly are you looking for in the engine room? What are you trying to inspect?
Oh, we kind of jumped out a little suddenly, less than we were planning, making sure none of the power cells cracked. Just a once over, we're awake. Just make sure everything's cool before I'm assuming eventually jump back into sleep.
On your way back to the engine room, you have this sudden urge, kind of just like a desire to just take a look in the lab. Just kind of piqued your interest all of a sudden.
I think I'm gonna look in the lab. As I'm walking by.
And roll me a sanity save.
Alrighty. That is not a success.
So,
Mr. Sanchez.
you enter into the lab and you can see the key against the wall. And it looks way more interesting than you remember it. It almost feels like you know how this thing works somehow.
That's an
And
understatement.
the only way to activate it is to touch it physically with your flesh. You need to just touch it. What would you like to do?
I'm feeling that urge to touch it. There's that little part of me that knows, I'm not supposed to touch it. Anybody around me in the lab?
No.
I'm just gonna touch it. Just
As you touch it,
yeah, touch it.
the key begins to vibrate gently. Just
Not bad.
you don't feel anything weird.
Does it startle me? Is it
No,
does
it's
it do I feel
gentle.
that
You can kind of just, if you put your hand back
Is
on
it-
it just to confirm, it's getting warm. It's
It's warm, okay.
Gently warm.
all right.
And
Yeah, I mean,
let's go back over to Kiko. How'd your roll go?
It was a success.
So, there appears to be nothing wrong with Peter. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Everything looks in order to me here. Yeah, nothing, no red flags from what I'm seeing. Looks like the Peter I know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to explain it.
Do you have any tests built in just to make sure the mods you're working are working correctly? Any sort of unit tests or anything?
They're not
you can
installed
run?
mods. I haven't installed any modifications. I've actually gone in and changed his programming. If that's what you're asking.
Do you have any way to verify that the code you changed is still what it should be?
Yeah. No, I looked it over. Everything is how I intended to be.
Okay. Could you walk me through what they are?
I'd rather not. It's a bit of a personal. I'd rather not expose Peter in that way by showing some of the core details that make him who he is. Showing that coding would put him at extreme risk, and it's not that I don't trust you, Tommy, but we have only just recently met.
I'm sorry, the code would expose him?
Yes.
I'm in a cryotube while he's running around a ship. I have to trust him too.
Yes.
If you've made modification, did you not listen to anything I told you? Modifying an android is extremely difficult, and I'm sorry, I don't know you, but a small change can become a big problem. And if you're going to power him back up after you told me that you've modified him and you don't want to show me those modifications, there's going to be an issue on the ship.
I'm not showing you those modifications because I cannot have someone that is here for my protection as well. Peter is the android that that is part of my personal regiment. And I'm not about to just show you the deconstruct button, as you would. Surely you can understand that. That's as if I just showed you how to power down and destroy the ship that I am on. I cannot show you certain intricacies into his coding. That's just like completely exposing him. It's showing his vulnerabilities, and I'm not about to do that.
Well, then can you explain to me why he's seeing things? Why he thinks that the ship was communicating to him? It was not. I checked the logs.
These things happen in hyperjumps. It's been recorded multiple times. I don't know the details of what he's been seeing or not seeing, but strange happenings in hyperjump, I mean, it happens.
It's droids need to be shut down in hyperspace.
That is not the protocol that we abide by. Our protocol always has an android awake during jumps. Someone has to be able to keep tabs on everything. I mean, without Peter, Dr. Ruha's oxygen supply would have been completely cut off.
Warden has built-in, safety measures.
That clearly weren't working. Look, I know that you went through something traumatic. But I need you to understand that perhaps you have your own biases now when it comes to assessing an android's capabilities. So I'm going to have to put my foot down on this one. There are modifications in there. Most of them were reprogramming who he responds to. Alright? It's about having him work with me.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And as soon as we can get somewhere to get me off the ship, I want to get off the ship.
Alright. We're not there yet. We're in the middle of this jump.
No.
You signed on to the... Look, I need you all to keep this running. I'm not going to do anything that's going to put us at risk, and that includes whatever you think Peter is doing to you. Well, what interest would I have in any of that?
I don't know. I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about him.
Right. This is something that we're going to have to work through. This is something that you need to work through, obviously. And I kind of look at Dr. Ruha like...
Oh, I'm not there.
You're not?
I have to go change out of my pajamas. I went to my quarters to take a shower like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, that sounds real nice. I mentioned it earlier. Dr. Ruha is qualified to get you through. It would at least be worth assessing it for yourself, where you stand when it comes to objectively assessing what's happening.
Fine. I'll let her check me out. But you need to keep an eye on him. If anything looks off, when we're not in a jump, anything, I want him powered down. I
understand that. Every night, I'm checking Peter's coding. I'm making sure nothing's changed. Alright? He does not have the capability to change his own coding. I want you to understand that.
Okay.
Have you ever Have you ever thought... You know, I keep talking about Dr. Ruha. There are some new therapies out there. If this whole event seems to really haunt you, Tommy, and I wonder if you could forget, do you think you would?
Are you asking if I would erase my memory?
Not all
No.
of it. Just
No.
Just the trauma.
I think what I learned from that experience is important to hold on to.
Right. That's good. Right. Yeah. All right. Let's finish just making sure everything else is running smoothly. If everything comes back positive, this, like I said, I think we chalk this up to some hyperspace jump anomalies. And honestly, let's take an hour maybe, you know, like freshen up whatever you need before we get back in. And if nothing happens in that time, I'm inclined to think that it's more related to the jump.
All right.
All right.
We'll take some time.
And, I'm gonna grab the outfit that Peter laid out and head to my quarters as well to freshen up and get changed for
Got
the
it.
next.
There is no hot
Sleep.
water left. I
As,
apologize, but
It's all right. I'll take a cold shower.
as soon as
this
she
is for the
leaves,
best because there is no hot water.
I go over to my cryopod to check the logs of what might have happened with that weird sim.
It appears to be some kind of kernel panic, some kind of system panic that happened while you were inside
Okay.
the...
Unrelated to Peter's presence.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be connected.
Okay. Anything else?
For the simulation?
For the time I was asleep.
No, there's nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Okay. Sanchez,
Hmm.
you were just...
Sorry,
Yes.
am I awake?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Before I leave, I do power you
Okay.
back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peter is powered back up.
And I let him know before I do head to my quarter. I said, everything seemed fine. You're right as rain. I
Good.
think
Wonderful.
between you and I think it's just the anomalies that happen with jumps of these kinds, all right? But we're going to keep an eye out over the next hour just in case anything happens, all right?
All right.
And then I'll head.
Jumping back over to Sanchez, you just got your hand outstretched, touching this thing, and you're just kind of taking it all in. No one seems to be coming by. And you're feeling rather okay. Maybe you figured some of this out. You got this idea that there's almost like you have this vision, and it looks like an oval kind of shape, and it just shatters into pieces and then falls apart into a million particles of dust, and then it stops, and then the vibration stops and the warming stops, and then you're just standing in the lab.
Back to the engine room with me, and I want to move my hand away from the key and take a breath, reset myself. That was all right. And then make my way back to the engine, but like I feel like I kind of have a hard time dropping eye contact with the key before I make my way out.
Got it. Dr. Ruha, how are you doing?
I just finished my shower. My hair's all wet, but got great volume.
Excellent. You hear the ruckus from before. It appears to be things are going okay. You're going to have to go back to sleep again soon, you assume. Go ahead and roll me a sanity save.
I pass?
You have this strange sense that you want to go by the lab for some reason, but you think better against it. But you feel a strong urge to go by the lab, and you stop yourself and like just kind of shake it off. You feel confident enough to know that that was a strange feeling that overcame you. An outside force.
I walk out of my quarters and just look down the hall towards the lab.
Sure.
And then I walk towards where the common room.
You
Very
see,
just ordinary about the entire thing.
in the common room, you see Asher. He appears to be reading some kind of pamphlet. And Selena is eating something.
Yeah, I would be grabbing a munch too. Just real quick, if I see Dr. Ruha, I'm just gonna take a quick look at the cargo hold. I don't know if you want to take a gander with me.
Why do you think there's something in there?
I'd rather be sure. I mean, this whole time we should just be double checking, triple checking that everything's fine before we go back under. And Kiko has changed into what you would recognize as a Marine's uniform.
Asher stops and goes, "Hey, didn't you have like a tattoo? And like black hair?"
Yes, I did. I realized that must be confusing. They were just temporary mods. I was just playing around for fun.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you looked very striking back there at Edge.
Yeah.
I mean, the blue is still,
Yes, we were waiting with bated breath for your opinion on someone else's hair color. We were just wondering what your discerning eye had to say about someone else's appearance.
Well,
Thank you very much.
She hired me
For
and
your
she looked
feedback.
completely different.
We were just having a night out on the town, before we were going into cryosleep, alright?
Right, sorry.
Yeah. No. But I understand it'd be confusing. This is what I look like.
You see him just kind of put his head down. Just kind of averts his eyes from Ruha.
Alright. Ruha, you want to join me or no?
Yes, let's just take a stroll.
Warden, did I check out the logs of the key to see what the report was?
The logs of the key?
Yeah,
Checked out the scan.
I did.
I believe so. You can check it out now if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Right, we'll come right back to that. Let's go back over to Kiko real quick and Ruha. What were we all doing?
We're just gonna head around the hall down to the cargo hold and just double check how many specimens are in there. Actually, can you grab just grab a bioscanner? Let's do this manually just in case from the lab on the way.
I can do that.
And yeah, we're just gonna check out the cargo hold.
Ruha, as you go to the lab to get the bioscanner, you can see it. It's the key is just sitting in this little console thing. And you remember that weird urge you had from before, but shake it off.
I have the bioscanner now. All right, let's go.
All right. Are you all right?
This whole situation just seems off to me.
Yeah, no, it's unsettling, but again, this is everything that I've been
Anomaly,
acquainted
right? You're going to say it's some type of anomaly.
Yeah, but this is... I don't know, this is what's to be expected, right?
No. Not my first jump. My first jump when my oxygen was cut off, though.
Right. Okay, well, we're doing the checks we need to do, alright? Is there anything off in the cargo hold?
As you scan, you get a ping of readings. And do you want to actually move things around and investigate?
Yeah, for each thing that it's scanning, I just want to double check what that thing is.
You find a cat and a bird and some rats in a cage. The cages are filthy. And there seems to be food just kind of piled in to kind of keep them satisfied.
These poor creatures.
Yeah.
You notice a strange contraption that holds a school of fish. There are several kinds of plants, herbs, aloe vera, and there's another little container of gerbils just moving around.
Alright. But,
food is packed
We brought
in.
a real piece of shit on board.
Yeah, what is he? He said he was bringing these to the others, right?
Yes. I think he fancies himself some type of... I don't know. Exotic pet dealer.
Yeah.
Keeping any type of living creature like this is morally reprehensible.
No, I agree. But everything checks out as far as what we see on the bioscanner checks out to something we'd expect.
You found more living things than Baxter said he brought on.
Yeah.
And otherwise, there's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Alright, well, we'll take this up with Baxter when we wake up a second time, but for now, I mean, there's nothing we can do. He brought on more than he said he would, but... Yeah?
We're receiving
This is rather
a
unsavory.
signal.
What was that, Warden?
We're receiving a signal.
Alright, head positions to the bridge, please.
Absolutely.
I ping everyone, our head crew. Once everyone gathers, I ask Warden, okay, Warden, what is the signal we've received?
It appears to be some kind of communication signal.
Alright, read it.
I look at everybody.
Yep.
Peter, I never had a doubt.
Play it back to us.
Let's play it back right now. And then you hear static. This is Captain Ryan Seward, Captain of the Alcatraz. We are receiving your signal loud and clear, and we are on our way to intercept. Are you still in need of the help? Are you still under distress?
Does this signal have like a timestamp on it?
Negative.
This is exactly the kind of transmission I was receiving.
Yeah.
Warden, are we more than 5 light days away from where we came upon the Alcatraz?
Yes.
So, it is possible that we're receiving past transmissions.
Of what distress signal that we gave out, though?
Well, they didn't say our distress signal. They said
true.
your distress signal, which could be anyone.
But at this point, we're not moving anymore. Well, I mean, we're not in...
With normal
a jump.
thrust.
Right.
But what we were moving faster than the transmissions could permeate the space-time medium. And
Yeah, so
we're
if
just
I-
catching the lag of that transmission.
Right.
I
So
think
if I understand this correctly, the transmission was sent out into space, and we have gone faster than that transmission was traveling. So we've intercepted the transmission as it was traveling outwards from the ship.
Yes.
Now it is very possible that this is the transmission that was sent from the Alcatraz to a possible ship they had found, which possibly caused them to be a derelict.
Right.
So
I mean,
so you're saying this message is from before we did our jump, though? Because when we left the Alcatraz, it was abandoned.
Yes.
yeah.
So
That
we
was-
have traveled, quote unquote, faster than light.
their signal was already sent, and we warped past it,
What
Captain.
I think is important is if we're out of the signal, then we just continue to monitor, and we can hear what happened to it. If they responded at all, we'll know exactly what happened.
Yeah, no,
That's
we can
real
do that. We
clever,
can just
Tom.
keep
That's
or keep records
Very
of it. Why is it
Science
that
officer,
Warden is not Warden's having these lapses in memory?
that's a good question.
You mean to tell me none of you want to respond?
I was thinking about it, Dr. Ruha. I was.
I was.
It's very
Up
possible
until-
someone could be, I don't know, messing with us. Don't you think Baxter Vader's entire deal is a bit convenient? He was at the same bar as us. He found himself on board with us.
It's the closest space station to where he did a trade. To me, this just
The last
This
people who
makes sense.
rendezvoused with him, he's the one who traded them the key, right? It's just a very strange coincidence that now we find ourselves in the company of the very same individual who brought this key on board the Alcatraz.
Yeah.
How-
Yeah, but what happens?
what-
We answer and they get a track.
It'll
on
be a
where we are.
confirmation on whether or not it's a live signal or one that is merely drifting through space.
That's fair. I can see that. Let's.
What's the worst that was going to happen?
We end up like Captain Ryan Seaward. that is the worst scenario.
I agree, though, with Mr. McDowell in that it is a very likely explanation for what is happening. My
So
concern,
if it is
though,
a likely explanation, then if we respond, nothing will happen by your logic, correct?
No, that is correct. I was worried initially when I was on my own over responding, but having Mr. McDowell explain it to me, it makes more sense. And it is...
you can
Yes, it-
respond.
Yeah,
There's-
let's check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
no, my worry is that...
you're not going to get a response. They're dead.
But the reason that you aren't responding is because you're afraid you are going to get a response. So why are we dancing around the issue?
Well, we don't know that they're dead. Actually, they just
To
were
be
not
fair,
present.
I was the one unwilling to give the response in the first place. Due
Peter,
to...
I'm addressing everyone at this point. Everyone seems to have this apprehension about
All right,
responding,
all right,
but yet
all right.
when I say,
Warden,
It's just silly.
open comms. Let's
is it?
respond.
Or are you afraid you're going to get an answer?
No, it's just, it doesn't make sense. Which is, Kiko, send the message. Send the
Comms
message.
are open.
This is Captain Kiko of the Destiny. We have not sent out any distress signals. Is there anything that we can help you with on the Alcatraz?
That's a big negative, Captain Kiko, but we do see that you've got something quite odd on the wing of your ship.
What the
Warden, could
This
you show
is-
us the wings of the ship?
The
Again?
data feed turns on and you see static.
I see static.
I'm gonna respond. What is it that you're seeing on the wing of our ship where our data feed seems to be malfunctioning at the moment?
Listen, we got your distress signal. We're here to help. Just give us your exact coordinates and we'll lock into speed with you.
I repeat,
Warden,
we did not send any distress signals.
Listen, I'm not here to try and argue with you. You got something on the wing of your ship, and it looks like y'all need some help.
Yeah, I'm not going to respond. Who was it?
Do
Didn't
not
we
give them the
hired?
coordinates.
What was that?
So do not give them the
I'm
coordinates.
not giving them our coordinates.
There are only so many anomalies that can add up before you have to understand that something is happening here.
It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
There is
That's
only
not them.
so many coincidences that can happen in hyperspace.
All right.
And yet we're sitting here trying to pretend that it's a glitch in Peter's system even though he's never had a glitch before like this. Why are we wasting our time running in circles trying to
We're
figure
not
out if
in
it's real or not? It's
hyperspace.
real.
If
All
that
right,
were them,
all right.
it would take 5 days for
Has
our
anybody
signal-
else had a compulsion to touch the key? Be
What?
honest.
What?
Has anybody else felt a compulsion? Buckford, where are you looking? Why aren't you making eye contact?
A compulsion is a weird way to put it. It was like an undertow current. It was more of a pull.
Did you touch it? He touched it.
Peter, I thought you said you put it up.
I did.
No, it was in the lab.
Yeah, it was in the lab locked up, Peter, right?
Yes, I put it in a container in the lab.
Did you open the container?
Did I open the container? Warden, was it in a container when I was drawn to it in the lab?
You opened up the container and touched it.
You know, maybe I did open the container.
All right.
Why
So
would you
we've got crew members.
It just felt right.
Feeling urges to touch this mysterious key that we found. Why didn't we hire someone who does some spacewalking, specializes?
Yes.
Let's get her
We
with a
detect
feed out there. We need to see what's going on outside the ship. Let's slow her down. Let's slow down the ship and take a look at what's happening. We need to have info because having a data feed down as well is not. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna ping Selena.
Selena comes on the comms. What's
Hi.
going on, Captain?
Hi, Selena. We seem to be having a malfunctioning camera feed on the. Was it what side of the ship was
Be
it
on
on?
the right side.
All right. The right side of our ship that overlooks the wing. Do you think that you could gear up for us and check it out? And please have your body cams out just so we can keep an eye out as well.
Absolutely, Captain. Sorry to hear that. I can get out there and fix it right away.
All right. Thank you, Selena.
Captain, I'd like to take the drone out too if you're gonna send someone out there.
Yeah.
All of you. These are exactly the things I was experiencing while you were in sleep. Now that we've confirmed that they do in fact talk back, that, if you would agree with me, seems to mean that we are not encountering delayed messaging because of our warp travel.
Yeah.
It would seem that they are receiving our transmissions and responding, which would be very unlikely that their responses would just be coincidental to what we were saying. Now, it is very possible that this is the same tactic that the others used on board the Alcatraz to get them to stop and give their coordinates to them.
Exactly.
Now, to be completely transparent, I also touched the key when I put it away. I didn't feel any compulsion to touch it, but in just putting it away, I technically touched it.
Did anyone else touch this key?
Who didn't touch the key?
I didn't.
I didn't touch
I've
the
not
key.
interacted with
That being said, I understand that why you did, Buckford. I don't fault you. I felt that same pull or calling. It's just,
To my knowledge,
my
there's
self-preservation kicked in and told me not to do it.
You've got years of training, and I respect that, and I just don't have that self-control.
It's-
Neither does Peter, though, so I don't
I
feel
am
that
sorry
bad.
for my ordinary demeanor. I am not angry at any one person in particular. It's just that we know that the transmission had to be real because there is no way Peter could have stumbled across the name of Captain Seward without receiving the transmission. Now, it is human nature when confronted with a difficult question to try to answer an easier one, which is doubting the origin of the signal and then trying to say that, clearly it must all be a coincidence. It's an anomaly. But the reality is we must fight this natural human inclination to answer complex questions with simple questions. To replace them, we have to answer the complex question.
I answered the questions that were there. With new information, I agree that this is someone trying to take over our ship, probably.
All right. So, let us see if we can
I'm
find out.
gonna walk out and head towards the weapons hold.
Now, as far as everybody in this room knows, only myself and Mr. Sanchez has touched the key. And again, while I felt no compulsion to do so, unlike Mr. Sanchez, I have in technicality touched it. Now, that is to my knowledge, no one else has touched it. So, considering that I have already touched it, I suggest that I take it, and someone is very welcome to accompany me, that we put it somewhere completely out of sight and locked away very securely so no one else can touch it.
I agree.
But how do we know you don't feel compelled to take it? Maybe you felt the same pull I did.
To my knowledge, I felt no pull, but it may register differently on me, seeing as I am not an organic.
I will watch him do it.
If anybody else would like to accompany me, they are more than welcome.
We can keep each other in check.
To go lock it in the cargo hold, and someone else can take the key. We can put it somewhere. We can lock the key in something else that I don't know about. I'm just saying it would behoove us to put it somewhere where no one else can touch it, just in case touching it causes something to happen.
Yeah, I want to make sure it's safe too. I want to go with you.
No, I don't think you should know where the key's location is. Given your inability to control your compulsion.
Nobody said not to touch the key. You tell me not to touch the key, I won't touch the key anymore.
Don't touch the key,
Well, there
Mr.
you go.
Sanchez. As the first mate of this ship.
I will not lay another finger on it, I promise.
Okay, so Captain Lawson has gone off to do something. We have someone walking outside to take a look at the wing. If there is something on the wing, I am a little worried as to what she might find out there. But is there anything any of you can do to facilitate us discovering more information or fixing our current situation?
Here's my suggestion with the key. After
Yes.
you lock it up, give me the key to the safe, and I will put it in the drone and on the outside of the ship so that none of us can get to it very easily.
Does everyone agree with that?
That seems a bit ridiculous.
So a key giving you messages in your head to come touch it doesn't seem ridiculous?
Well, I just think it's a stupid idea. What if something happens to your drone? Then we won't be able to access it again.
We don't need to.
The key to
As of right now, we don't
the key
need
to fail safes is people only possessing one piece of information each. If you do not know the location of the safe, then, or whatever we put it, the key is useless in your hands, so you can hold on to it.
Why put
Right?
it in hands? Where did we find the key?
We found it on the Alcatraz.
We are
But
not going to put it
where?
inside of Peter's body.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's the worst idea.
I would prefer
Yes, it
not to
worked
put
out
it
so
inside of me.
wonderfully for them, right? Just turned out so great.
But they weren't Peter, you know? Like, I'm not going to
I'm
sell him
not
short.
going to lie. I'm getting a bit angry with all of you. You're being very illogical right now. One person should know the location of where it's hidden. Another person should have the key to the location where it's hidden. Nobody else needs to have the information. That's 2 fail-safes. It's fine.
Fine.
You're talking about dangling a key off a drone off the outside of our ship.
All right,
Who?
everyone, let us take a moment. If I know the location of where it is
Then
hidden,
Kiko knows the location, so she cannot have the key.
that is fair. Then I will not know the location of where it's hidden. But my only problem is, I doubt any of you want to touch it.
No. That is true. Which is why I'm saying, wherever you hide it,
Someone else needs to know, only them know the location of the key. Correct? Great.
yes.
And the location of the key should be somewhere inside the ship. Although
Yes. And the key to the key should be held by another party who does not know the location.
Got it. Okay. So,
It makes sense to me.
no, I understand what you're saying. So, I will take it, and I will lock it somewhere in the cargo bay. I will then take the key, or the combination to that lock, and I will give that combination to someone else who would like to have that combination. Wait, we shouldn't know. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm a little stressed. I will then choose someone to have the combination. Then that person, without my knowledge, will choose someone else.
But then you'll have the combination and the location, Peter.
Right, no, I see. So we need to have I'm sorry.
I think we're going to need a hard lock. A
Yes, we are
conventional
going to need a
one.
hard lock.
That is the only way.
Is it possible to wipe an android's memory in
I
like
would prefer
5 or
not
10
to do
minute
that.
increments? I know you'd prefer not to, Peter, but if
Yes.
you
Is it
hide the
possible
key,
to wipe your memory for 5 or 10 minutes?
just suggestions. I'm feeling stressed out by this scenario, and I don't want
Agreed,
to be
I
tempted. So
apologize.
I would like to maybe go assist Selena on her walk, checking out the comms.
Why
I
don't
feel like
you do that?
she needs a spotter. So
All right, everyone. I will find I'm going to go to the cargo bay before I ever touch the key. I'm going to go ahead and find a lock that has an actual physical key somewhere on the ship. And we will go from there.
Sounds good.
So I will head to the cargo bay.
You're heading to the cargo bay.
Yes.
As you head to the cargo bay, Selena, you pass by her. She's almost done suiting up, and she's ready to go out on her walk.
Selena,
Yeah.
please, while you're out there, take an extra bit of caution,
Okay. Yeah.
just to be safe.
Right.
And
is there
Mr.
anything I
Sanchez
should
will be
worried about.
No, we have no visual on our wing, and we got some conflicting readings from outside, and we just want to make sure what's actually going on out there, have some actual eyes on it. Mr. Sanchez will be assisting you with anything you need.
Right. Okay. And she finishes suiting up.
I go to the science lab to navigate the drone outside as an overwatch.
The drone activates, and Selena goes to the airlock. Sanchez, what are you doing?
I would like to focus the cameras. She's on the starport side wing. So I would like to bring up all available feeds, get my comms on the same channel, and just be there for a support role. Keep an eye on anything fishy. Yeah, run scans as she's going too. Make sure if by chance there was something on the wing, was there any damage done? ETC.
So she gets ready to exit the airlock. All right, I'm exiting now.
And I grabbed a gun and then I headed to where the rail gun is, because it's right next to that wing, and should have a feed up directly out there too.
Got it. It's hard to see out there. It's not... You see the wing, you don't see anything in particular. You can see Selena exiting. I am making my way out. I do not see anything of note yet.
Yeah, just check on that camera for us. Let's work on fixing that main feed first.
Right. Camera. Here we go. And I am in front of the camera now. Can you see me?
Are we getting a feed on Selena?
There's just static on the camera currently.
Selena, that is a negative on the feed. Maybe check the wires. Maybe some sort of electromagnetic pulse or something disabled. Give it a little look-see.
On the wires.
While she's doing this, I would like to make notice of her vitals. Just make sure oxygen levels, pulse, and all that are all safe while she's doing the spacewalk.
They appear to be normal. Her heart rate is elevating a little bit.
Doing just fine there, Selena.
Right. The camera appears to be in working order. Everything's hooked up. Must be some kind of internal issue. Let me just take a deeper look in here. I'm gonna extract the camera from the housing unit. You're gonna lose feed for a second.
10-4.
You see the static completely goes out. It's black. The other cameras run to static, including the drones. Camera appears to be in working order. Are you getting this?
I do.
Still static?
My drone is out as well.
Oh, that's weird. It's right here next to me. Hold on.
Interesting.
This camera appears to be okay. Let me just put it back in the housing. Maybe something deeper in the ship. I'm gonna plug it back in. Let's see if it turns back on. The static turns on. All your cameras are feeding back static currently.
It's still salt and pepper here.
Right, I'm seeing... Well, that's weird.
What's weird, Selena?
There's some kind of marks on the wing. Looks like some kind of scratches on the wing.
Like we hit debris or something? And
Possibly.
Is her body cam also coming back static? If we switch to that.
Hold on. And she activates him. You can see this. For some reason, there is interference. You can see some strange scratch marks. They look like two sets of 5, 10 scratch marks.
So we can see it's just a bit.
Yeah, it's a little staticky.
Okay.
Which is out of the ordinary. Yeah, they're seeing scratch marks here. Some kind of looks like something like a cat got to the ship.
A cat?
Well, like
Is it
something
possible?
scratched it.
maybe when they're repainting it, they just,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to repair this.
Yeah, go ahead and get to work repairing that for a moment, Selena. Please keep your body cams up and just keep us posted if anything changes. We're still getting static on the other cameras, unfortunately.
The railgun cannon, the camera turns up all of a sudden. And as you see Selena leaning over, she pulls out her little laser welder. You see almost like, kind of like from above, this thing kind of like floats down behind her.
I just open fire on it.
Right. Let's roll an attack here.
The fuck?
Go ahead and roll your... What is it? Your combat, right?
Combat.
Yeah. Combat. This is for the ship.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Let me do the... Let's see. Combat for the ship. Because I'm operating, not getting the computers to operate it, though, can I add some of my training?
Yes.
Alright. That's a success. I rolled a 34, which is under the ship's 40.
Before Selena can look behind her, she just goes, "Wah!" And then something just obliterates all over her in her suit. What the hell was that? What the hell are you doing shooting? You almost shot my head off.
Something came down above you, Selena. I don't know what it is, but we appear to have eliminated it. Are you alright?
Well, I probably pissed myself.
Let's get you back inside. Let's get an assessment. Go through the decontamination and let's just get you to the med lab and make sure everything's alright, yeah?
Alright.
Did I feel the railgun go off on the ship?
Yeah, everyone kind of felt a gentle, well, not gentle, kind of a jolt.
If they were monitoring the feed too, it would have gone up, right?
Yeah.
As soon as I feel that, because I was heading to the cargo bay, I immediately run to where the railgun is.
Got it.
I imagine my monitor lit up real bright with those laser bolts. And what the hell's going on out there? I imagine the pulse, Selena's pulse starts racing.
Yeah, her vitals are off the chart. She's alive, and the camera feeds turn back on. They're all back to normal.
What was that firing? What's going on out there?
I get on the comms to the main team. Something just came out of the shadows above Selena when she was out there on the wing. The feed
We should
for
bring her back.
She's on her way back in. She should be in the decontamination. Dr. Ruha, could you go check on her, run some diagnostic, and just make sure she's all right? I told her to head to the med bay after that. The footage on the railgun came up. We should be able to review that. I wanted to make sure Selena was all right, so I opened fire. Everyone appears to not have been harmed, but let's just double check.
I'd like to try to get the drone close to the marks and see if it can collect any physical specimen that may have splattered.
Right, you do collect samples. Selena gets back on board. She's in the decontamination, just like...
Yeah, I go to meet her as well.
Oh, okay. What just happened out there? Because felt like my head almost got blown off.
We don't know. We were just trying to make sure you were safe. Something came out of the space. Is Dr. Ruha, are you here as well?
Yeah. Selena, are you feeling quite all right? Did you get winged at all?
No, I'm fine. I just covered in this stuff that I don't know what this stuff is. But I don't know what. Nothing could have been out there because there's nothing that out there in space, you know.
Yes, of course. Please take extra care when you remove your suit in not putting it in our usual laundering services. Please,
Lord Kingsley will try to eat it.
Let's leave the suit here in the decontamination. Just disrobe if you don't mind. We'll get you something to change into and get you to the med bay to get checked out if you don't mind, Dr. Ruha.
Sure. She finishes getting out of the suit and she heads to the med bay.
Was she covered? She said she had something on her?
Yeah, she was...
Yeah, what did it look like?
So, what you see is kind of... looks like raw meat just splattered along the side of the suit. kind of pinkish. There's some fleshy kind of bits.
Yeah, don't let Lord Kingsley near that suit. He's gonna want to nibble on that. Do we have a bin that we're disposing of this in?
Let's Tommy, did you get any collections of the specimen? There's quite a bit on the suit and the decontamination.
Yeah,
area.
the drone was able to pick some stuff up. If she already went through the decom though, that's not a good sample. So
it's fair.
we'll just extract what the drone picked up. We can take a look at that.
Does it have a smell?
No one else touched anything, right?
We haven't touched anything. It's sitting there in the airlock. Should we just dispose of the suit? Is that what you would suggest, Tommy?
How many suits do we have for spacewalks?
We've got some extra. We've got some extra in the.
Let's just for now quarantine it, and we can make a call when we figure out what the hell we're doing with it.
All right.
Sanchez, you asked if it smelled?
Yes.
You smell burnt flesh.
All right. Some things are universal.
I'm just gonna keep tabs on the med bay, but I'm gonna go to the bridge and just watch the feed for it.
The feed for the med bay?
Yeah, just to see how it's going.
All right. You see, Selena's just kind of sitting, waiting.
I would try to find Kiko.
Okay.
And, so what did you shoot out there?
I don't know. It was some kind of dark form that was coming down above Selena. I couldn't risk it.
An organic material was in space, actively moving.
I don't know. I'm just. If we're in the bridge, I'm gonna Warden pull up the railgun feed.
I'll also make my way to the bridge to see this.
Railgun feed.
To find Kiko.
Here you go.
Bring it back to a minute before I open fire.
As you watch the footage, a minute before you open fire?
Yeah, and let it play from there so that I can...
It starts playing through. You see Selena going out slowly. She's investigating. You scrub through and see, she's highlighting with her light the scratch marks. And then you see what looks like a humanoid thing coming down from the top. It has vaguely human-sized proportions. And it appears to be moving with the trajectory of the spaceship, as if it's controlling itself through space.
Did we observe the static on the recording as well when the cameras went down?
Yes.
Okay.
So, it would appear there was something attached to the wing.
This makes absolutely zero sense.
You are correct.
Yeah, Peter said he asked Warden to do a scan and it said all was fine, but there were the damage outside on the wing, so...
Well, it would seem that Warden is not completely capable of being able to detect these, considering that in their presence, cameras...
I shouldn't have opened fire. What if there was the others?
That is a possibility.
Is that bad?
I don't want the first interaction that we have to be violent. Like, I didn't want anything happening to Selena. Everyone was stressed out, and so I just opened fire, but...
Yeah.
I don't... what if it had been... It might not have been intending to harm her...
There's somebody who might have an answer for us. And I would like to glance in the direction of Baxter Veda's cryopod.
The cryo.
That is possible. Although he did not seem very forthcoming with information.
We could show him the footage, yeah. At least identify.
I can go wake him up.
You go to wake up Baxter Veda?
Is that the plan?
Yeah, no, yeah. Let's try and get more information. Yeah.
Oh, Warden, would you please start the awakening process for one Mr. Baxter Veda?
Yeah, we cut to Baxter Veda just vomiting as he gets up. Oh man, that was a short one.
Hello, Mr. Veda.
Wait, what's up, man?
If you would be so kind as to, when you are able to, follow me to the bridge.
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, please follow me.
All right, let's do it. He walks over behind you.
I lead him to the bridge.
Hey, did you feed the cat?
The cat has food.
Cat. Oh, good. We'll probably need to feed that cat, because I think
Yes,
the others want him alive.
You could do a better job of cleaning their cages.
I know, man, but I'm asleep.
Right, I would have done it had I had full warning.
Right. The cat's cage needs to be cleaned. Appreciate. Much appreciate.
Yes.
Hey, Bax, speaking of the others,
Yeah.
I believe our illustrious captain may have some questions regarding your expertise.
Yeah, Baxter.
Yeah.
Hi. Sorry to do this right after you're waking up from cryo. I'm gonna show you some footage of something, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. You've encountered the others, and I just wanted to identify, since the rest of us have not, whether what we see on this footage is one of them. And I'll play it back.
You watch Baxter kind of just squinting at the footage, taking it all in. What is this? What am I watching? What was that?
That wasn't... You didn't recognize that as one of the others? That form that descended?
Oh, that ain't the others, but where's this from? This video.
This was just recently outside our ship. Threat's been eliminated, as you can see, but we're just trying to assess what that might be, and considering you had met these other beings, that we thought we'd check with you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, the others. Yeah.
That was not them.
No, that's not them.
Alright. That's all we need right now. Unless you know what these are, you can clean yourself off whatever you need, having just woken.
When I say I trade with the others, man, I haven't seen them.
How do you trade with them if you haven't seen them?
You kind of what I've done is just, I go to this, there's a place I go, and there's a room, and you leave the stuff there, and they leave their stuff, and then you just take what they leave, and they take what you leave. And then, you go about your business. And
what kind of things do they normally leave?
Well, all kinds of rocks and these statuettes and
like the one that
arts.
you delivered to the Alcatraz. The item that you brought to the Alcatraz.
How do you know about the Alcatraz?
Told you we rendezvoused with them. We stopped by. on the way into Starport 476B.
That's right. Yeah, I traded with them.
Peter is going to move to the doorway
Got it.
and just stand there.
You seem, perturbed. I'm actually gonna ping Dr. Ruha. Dr. Ruha, I know you're checking on, Selena, but could you come to the bridge?
Yes, I have just concluded my examination. She seems to be in good health, just a little rattled.
Alright. Baxter, you seem a little, upset by the idea of the Alcatraz. Did, something happen when you were there?
Look, man, the others gave me this thing, and I've delivered some like it before, but this one, it was just making me feel funny, so I was glad to be rid of it. And I got rid of it with the Alcatraz, and I took the money, and I left, and that was gone. That was it.
You
Didn't
took
need
the
any
money
more.
from the Alcatraz.
Yeah, you know, they were looking for artifacts from the others.
Right.
I had artifacts.
What do you mean it made you feel funny?
Like, I had weird dreams. I don't know. It might have just been because I was so close to the others. We know when you talk to them, it's like you don't really talk with them. Yeah, you don't see them, but you know they're there. They're like they're there, but they're somewhere else, some other place.
Look, I think, I'll look at the rest of the crew. Maybe it might be time we get rid of this artifact.
I think it's too late.
What are you talking about?
Well,
Get rid of an artifact.
Mr. Vader, it would seem that the artifact you delivered caused a problem above the Alcatraz. Aboard the Alcatraz.
Yeah, but why are you talking about getting rid of it? The Alcatraz has it.
No, they do not.
No, they do not.
We do.
We retrieved it when we came upon the derelict ship.
Why did you do that? Why'd you take the thing back? Because you don't want that thing.
And why is it
Why
that
don't
we
we-
don't want it exactly?
I don't
I
know.
said from the beginning they could probably track it, but everyone said, oh, well, you know, if they wanted to track it, they would have taken it from the android aboard the Alcatraz. But the reality is, it could be a trap. It could be
Listen.
just a way that they use to track ships that they then abduct, and we've already brought it on board.
Who's they?
But no, logically, Mr. Thomas had so many things to say that if it could be tracked, then why didn't they take it from the android in the hopes that we would recover it so they could track us as well? It's clear that they have some sort of fetish for studying biological organisms.
Let's get rid of it. Just get rid of it.
All right,
we'll move.
I will go
Jump.
and... What?
We get rid of it and we just jump. We jump
Yes.
in a
That's
different
fair.
direction.
I will... If everybody would like to prepare for a jump, I will go and I will...
We should
I will
throw
put down
them
the
off our
airlock.
scent. We should
Yes,
convince
exact-
them that it is on a trajectory that we are on. Like spoof our signal somehow.
All
Put
right.
it in an escape pod. Something like that.
Well, that's...
That's
are there
If we
escape
just
pod-
leave
one-
it suspended in space, I don't think they're going to buy it.
No, that's fair. One, is there an escape... Or do we have escape pods on the ship?
Yes.
How many?
How many do you have, Kiko? Enough for the crew, I
Yeah, enough for the crew. So,
assume. So 8.
Yeah, sure.
How many people can fit in one pod?
I believe it's only one per pod. This size of a ship. They're not too big.
Well, all right. This will put us in a situation where if we do need to evacuate the ship, we do not have enough for the entire crew.
We have enough for the humans?
That is technically correct. although it would be unfortunate from my perspective. Now,
You know what,
How
Peter?
about-
I would be less inclined to leave you behind and more inclined to leave Baxter Veda behind, considering
whoa,
that this
whoa, whoa,
individual
man.
left a dangerous artifact in the hands of an innocent crew that is now missing.
He didn't know it was going to get in our hands.
We won't be
He knew that it
leaving
would-
anyone
oh.
behind. Let's
Wait.
get rid of it.
yes, here's my idea.
Okay.
You all prepare for for cryosleep. I will place the artifact inside that particular suit that we have in our airlock at the moment. Place it inside the suit, and then I will evacuate the suit out into space when we jump. And that way our wake should push the suit out into space in a completely different direction from which we are going, and therefore
Yeah.
the thing they are supposedly tracking is going a different direction. Now, there is the possibility, however, I don't want to cause panic in anybody, but there is the possibility that seeing as Mr. Sanchez and I have touched it, they are able to track us as well. But we have no proof of that.
Well, let's have both of you go through, go into the
Decontamination.
airlock, go through decontamination. Let's get everyone to cryosleep. We got to get this thing off.
Hey,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
Don't worry about touching
Now-
it. I touched it plenty of times. I'm fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Are you?
Did you feel compelled to touch it?
Well, you know, when you get some cool new thing from the others, you kind of want to touch it no matter what, right?
There
All right,
we go.
Baxter, just for the sake of it, could you please just run yourself through decontam as well before heading to your cryopod? And I'll go over comms for the ship and be like, all right, I hope everyone...
Why were you so eager to get rid of it?
What I wasn't. At first I was intrigued, you know.
Compelled, would you say?
Yeah. But I started seeing things.
When you
Like-
touched it?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
types of things?
I saw like a temple. And then I saw like a globe shattering. And then
A globe? It was a globe shattering? Was it kind of like an oblong globe?
you could say that, yeah. It was a whole thing and it shattered, and then I saw
tiny little pieces.
kind of like a stonework temple thing or something. It made
And
me
then?
feel really weird.
Unsettled.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wanted to get rid of it by the time I met the Alcatraz. So I gave it to them, fine, got my credits, and got out of there.
Well, Mr. Veda, unfortunately, you bringing that to the Alcatraz caused the entire crew to go missing, and for one very unlucky android to be decapitated.
Hey, that's not my thing, man. I just
Do
gave
the others seem to have an aversion to any type of electronics?
the others. Like I said, you don't actually meet them face to face. That you
I
leave
know,
the-
but you trade with them. Do they have any interest in electronic items or just the organic ones you brought on board?
I tried giving them some data pads before. I think they took them. I kind of just like left them there.
But the bulk of your cargo is living creatures. Why is that?
I think they want to learn.
You
more.
said just a few minutes ago that they prefer the cat to be alive. How do you know that?
It's like a feeling.
A feeling.
Yeah, when you communicate with them, it's like a feeling. It's not like you talk to them. Like
And the feeling you got is that they desire to what? Study these live specimens?
they want them for some reason.
I'm taking a look at the cameras while this is happening. I don't like waiting around right now.
So,
Is there anything
here we
on-
are.
Is there anything showing up?
Which cameras are you investigating?
Just checking all around the ship one by one.
You don't see anything outside the ship currently.
Does anyone on board have augmentation?
No.
I mean,
we
I've got a
get out
credit
of here
chip
now?
in my molar, but I'm gonna go to decontamination, and I would
Yes,
take Baxter Veda
that's-
with me.
Yeah.
Because you guys are talking about it's making me itchy, and I would
Yeah.
like to check to be
Let
sure.
let us at least get the thing off the ship.
Yes.
If you would all prepare for a jump, that way we can facilitate getting out of here.
Yep. And Peter will wake us if there's anything else going on, but let's start there and hope that that's all we have to deal with it. And I do alert everyone over comms that we are going back into a jump, continuing with the journey, and to head back into the cryopods stack.
Yes. Mr. Sanchez, please meet me at the airlock.
I will meet you there promptly.
I am going to acquire a duffel bag, something to carry the item in, so I don't have to
I feel
continuously
like
have
the
it in
jump
my...
isn't going to work.
Well, it's all we have right now.
If the Alcatraz could jump, why didn't they? The camera feeds are staticky. How do we know that our ship can jump?
They're functioning right now, so I'd like to take advantage of it right now while they are.
Yeah.
Because
So-
as soon as we got rid of that specimen, they came back online. If we're gonna
So,
jump, we need to
here
do it
we-
now.
Yes, please. I will go get a bag. I go to the science room to take the sample and put it in the duffel bag, and then I will head to the airlock that has the contaminated suit in it.
Right. Well, you do that. What's everyone else going to be doing?
Heading to the cryo chamber.
Cryo chamber?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that I do not load a sim this time.
Right. You see, Lynn seems to be finished up with their repairs. Really sorry about that. I think it was just, I rushed it. You can try it again. I promise it won't happen.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Right.
You can try it, though. Feel free.
Okay. The Asher is getting back towards the cryopod. What's going on now? We woke up and now we're going
Asher.
back to sleep.
Asher, we're continuing our journey. Have you ever seen the others? You said you've spoken to the... Have you ever seen them?
I've seen them.
Shit. Come with me for a second. I'll bring him to the closest computer.
Yeah.
We don't have time for this.
Shit. All right. Fine. We'll do it when we wake up. All right. We're going back into the cryo sleep. So just suit up. Get into your pods.
All right. So we get to the pods. Sanchez and Baxter Veda were in decontam, but they're back at the pods now.
All right. Everyone
Warden,
ready?
can you please keep an extra close eye on my life support?
Absolutely. We'll make sure the systems are regulated. Peter, you're
Yes.
at the airlock?
I'm where the contaminated suit is.
Got it. Are you alone
To then, if the others are not, if the others have already gone through decontam and have gone back to the cryo bay, then I'm alone.
now? Got it. Everyone is ready for the cryo sleep. What would you like
Great.
to do, Peter?
I am going to take the object
Mhm.
out of the bag, place it inside the suit, and seal the suit.
Roll me a sanity save.
The first one I have succeeded. I rolled a 4.
As you touch it, you feel this desired programming, this kind of call to put this thing somewhere safe. This is like a direct program activating, but you know this is not correct. This must not be. This is something abnormal. What would you like to do?
I just look at the item. I say, that is absolutely something I am not programmed to do. And then I stick it in the suit.
Got it.
And then I put it in through the neck hole of the suit, seal the helmet on the suit. The decontamination systems work inside this airlock,
It's in
correct?
the airlock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I run the decontamination on myself,
Got it.
and then I step outside the airlock, shut the doors, and I open the airlock to space.
Got it.
and I allow the suit to drift out into space.
The suit drifts out into space.
Close the airlock.
As you close the airlock, the door is about to shut, and a hand just grabs open and wrenches it open towards you.
I
Stop right there, because we'll join us next time on episode 4. Thank y'all for joining us. This is
Called it!
Eclipse, episode 3, The Dark Zone, episode 4, Unforeseen Problems.
Somewhat foreseen.
marginally foreseen problems.
Unforeseen problems, that's what it's called?
No, we're gonna call it Scavengers.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Warden.